Hi Octoparse user, I'm François Dufaur. I'm a long-time user of Octoparse. In this series, I will share my experience and dive into multiple case tutorials with you, so you can use Octoparse to scrape data step by step. In this video, you will learn how to scrape public tweets from Twitter. In other words, you and we will build a workflow that can scrape tweets every time it scrolls down. Let's get started. As usual, the first thing we need to do is to get a Twitter search result URL. And today I want to scrape tweets talking about Lionel Messi. And here is the URL. Just one thing before we move on. Actually, two things. The first one is that you can get more specific research if you want to. You simply click on More and Advanced Search. The second one is the following. Today we scrape tweets based on a particular keyword, but you can also scrape tweets directly related to a Twitter account. It's exactly the same process. Okay, now we simply copy and paste the URL in Octoparse. And we click on Start. Now I turn on the browse mode and I want to remove this part because that could be pretty annoying. I click on Login and I will simply log in to my account. I input my username, I input my password, and that's it. Actually, this is not a must step. It's just a way for me to make things a little clearer. I click on Login, and to save what I've done, I will click on the action settings, use cookie, and use cookie from the current page, and I click on OK. Now it is time to select all the tweets from the current page. And to do that, we will create a loop item. I make sure that the browse mode is turned off. Then I select the block of the first tweet. And some elements have been highlighted in red, such as the name, the date, the content of the tweet, of course, and the number of comments, retweets, and likes. To select all of these, I click on Select Sub-Elements. And to select all the tweets, I click on Select All and extract data. Okay, this is a good start. Now I need to make things a lot clearer by renaming fields and deleting the ones we don't need. So I click on the action settings of Extract Data and look, field 1 represents the name. So I type name. The field 2 is not useful, the field 3 neither. The field 4 represents the publishing date. I type date. I'm going to delete the remaining fields. I just keep the last 3 because field 10 is the number of comments. The field 11 is the number of retweets. And field 12, the number of likes. And I click on OK. There is just one thing that is missing, it is the content of the tweet. I select the text of the first tweet and I click on Extract the text of the selected element. And now it is done. I simply type tweet. Okay, one last thing. You see here, it's written that the date is 40 minutes, which means that the tweet has been published 40 minutes ago. Well, what does that mean? 40 minutes ago doesn't mean something. To get the real publishing date, we click on More, Customize Field, Extract Attributes, and then Date Time. And now we have access to the real publishing date. I click on OK. The fourth step is to create another loop item to scroll down the page. I click on the plus icon just here and loop. And I will transform this loop item into a scroll page item. And let's suppose that I will scroll down the page 1,000 times with a waiting time of 3 seconds. And I don't forget to select for one screen. Well, you might wonder what is the difference between this one and this one. Well, for one screen, Octoparse will scroll down the page one screen at a time. But if you select the bottom of the page, Octoparse will scroll down without stopping in the middle of the page. So it's particularly useful if you need to load more content once you reach the bottom of the page. But just one piece of advice. If you don't know what to choose, you need to always select for one screen because it works for every kind of website, which is not the case for to the bottom of the page. So I click on for one screen. I don't forget to check end loop when there is no more content to load, and I click on OK. One last thing before we can run our task is to move the loop item into the scroll page item. And now we can click on save, we can click on run. If you are a premium user, you can click run in the cloud, otherwise we click on run on your device. The data extraction is now over and we've got 100 lines. If we check it, we can see that it seems that we reached the bottom of the page, so there is no more content to load. That sounds okay. All we need to do is to click on export data, and if you have some duplicates, you should not worry, definitely, because you simply need to remove duplicates and that is totally fine. Then you choose in which format you want to get your results. In our case, we'll download in an Excel format, and here is the final file. As you can see, we've got the name, the date, and in some cases we've got some blank cells, which means that there is 0 retweets or 0 comments or 0 likes. So that's fine, and we've got the content of the tweet. This is almost the end of the video, and if you are still here, I have a little something for you. If you are a premium user of Octoparse, you can scrape tweets in 30 seconds. For instance, let's scrape some tweets from the Elon Musk account. I copy the URL, I go to Octoparse, I click on New, Task Template, Twitter, then I select the kind of template I want, in our case auto page, then try it, I input a task name, I paste the URL, and I want to scrape the tweets from the last 15 days, and I click on Save and Run, and then run in the cloud. And here is the final file. Hope my video got your confusion cleared away. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos regarding Octoparse and web scraping. We will always keep you updated.